All right, so the Arsenal parade took place this afternoon, and a lot of persons are criticizing them for doing the parade just less than 24 hours after losing the Champions League finals. But I don't get the criticism. The World Cup is just 10 days away. Tell them to shift the parade because they lost the Champions League final and questionable circumstances. The penalty kick thing is anybody's game. Anybody can miss a penalty. You can ask John Terry, you can ask Cristiano Ronaldo, you can ask Harry Kane, you can ask Lewandowski, you can ask Lionel Messi as well. No, anybody can miss a penalty. No, if Paris Saint-Germain were too fantastic, why didn't they score the 8 goals, the 7 goals, the 5 goals you all predicted in the course of the match? Arsenal scored as early as 6 minutes, and they could only equalize by virtue of a penalty kick that was awarded in questionable circumstances. I choose to use that word because they failed or refused to give Arsenal their own penalty kick in the second half as well, when Noni Madueke was brought down by Mendes. So if you give that as a penalty to PSG, then you should give Madueke's own as a penalty to Arsenal to balance the game. Arsenal took their chance, scored in the first leg, and they stick to their game plan. You wanted Arsenal to come out and play like they were playing a secondary school team, right? So that they can collect all the goals you want them to collect. So you now say, oh, yeah, Arsenal played well. Oh, Arsenal did very well, but they lost 5-0, just like Inter Milan did last season. No, it doesn't work that way. They have a game plan already. They stick to their game plan. You get, so you cannot criticize them. And come to think of it, I criticize them lots for a very long time now. Up second, back to back to back. You criticize them for not having the balls, not having the mentality, this and all that. And they strategize. They change their game plan, and they've gone over the line, won the Premier League. Now, and you guys are criticizing them for doing the parade just a few hours after losing the Champions League finals on penalties. The game ended 1-1, and PSG won by 4 goals to 3. Villarreal saved Mendes' penalty, but PSG's keeper did not save any. From Arsenal, it was so unfortunate that Chieze and Gabriel Magalhaes missed their sports kick. It's so unfortunate. But the dream was always the Premier League. The dream was always the Premier League. Winning the Champions League would have been very fantastic, would have been a wonderful one. But I rate the season as 90%, a 90% success. I rate the season 90 over 100. So they achieved their target, which was actually the Premier League, nothing else. It was the Premier League that was the target. And maybe next season could be the target for the Champions League. The transfer moves are already on. Morgan Rogers is being discussed at this point in time to join Arsenal. And I understand there's a discussion and a meeting fixed for Wednesday in 3 days' time. Discuss with Morgan Rogers' camp to see how he can join Arsenal. A lot of other players have been voted to join Arsenal in the coming days. But the World Cup is just 10 days away. A lot of the players will be joining their camp. You understand? So there's no better day to do the parade than today being Sunday. So it's the best thing to do. The parade was already planned for today, and nothing could have changed that. You understand? There's nothing that they should do to change that. That's a class. And then looking at the numbers that troop out to celebrate the Arsenal team, you can see the record there. About 1.5 million persons out there already to join the Arsenal parade to celebrate the league triumph after 22 years of wait. You understand? That is just what is recorded in the streets of London. And not counting those of us that are online and outside London. You understand? So Arsenal has also been voted as the most followed team, the most talked about team on social media. You understand? That's the legacy that this team have already set. Now, let's look at the criticism aspect. This Arsenal team has been criticized a lot, criticized more than any other team. Even the teams that were fighting for survival, like Tottenham Hotspur, have not been criticized the way Arsenal have been criticized. Chelsea that finished 10th have not been criticized the way Arsenal have been criticized. Liverpool, the defending champion, ended with 60 points and finished 5th on the log, have not been criticized the way Arsenal have been criticized. But Arsenal went a step further. The previous season ended up second with 74 points. And now this season they went a step further, finishing top of the league, lifting the title with 85 points, 7 points ahead of Manchester City that you all wanted to win the league. So what's the point criticizing them? You calling them haram football. Did he call Chelsea and Mourinho out for playing haram football in 2005 after they score a goal and they go on the defensive block? He did call them out in 2012 and 2021 when they used the same pattern to win the Champions League. But Arsenal had a game plan which worked until they were eventually given the penalty. And you guys are calling them out. They should have come out to play. They should have come out to play. Ask Bayern Munich what happened when they came out to play against PSG. They collect home and abroad. Ask Chelsea, your darling Cowboy FC, sit at home FC. What happened when they played by PSG? They came out to play, isn't it? You're talking about beating them 3-0 in the Club World Cup. You met them again in the Champions League. Home and away, they defeated you. 3-0 it ended at Stamford Bridge, right? So what happened? What about Liverpool? They came out to play PSG. They collected home and away, 2-0, 2-0. But because PSG did not score against Arsenal from open play, you guys are complaining. Arsenal scored from open play, PSG scored with a set piece. But yet, Arsenal is the one criticized as a set piece FC. Arsenal scored 19 goals from corner kicks in the English Premier League 2025-2026 season. Tottenham scored 18. Nobody has scored Tottenham. Even after scoring 18 goals from corner kick, they almost went on relegation. Arsenal saved their ass by beating West Ham United, but they have the guts. People like the Charles is attacking Arsenal online, even after Arsenal saved their ass. So I don't understand the dragging and all this so brouhaha online, attacking Arsenal. Is it because of the invisibility? If he is the runner now, or is it because of Wenger fielding 11 black players in a match, or what? What's the hatred all about? You call them several names. They lack winning mentality. They don't have the balls. Now they are doing all that you are criticizing them for. They won the league after 22 years. Yet, you still don't want them to have peace. Now you've woken the sleeping giants. You've dragged them out from where they were sleeping. It's going to be more chaotic next season. The Premier League fixtures will be announced very soon in the next 18 days, or I think on the June 18th or June 19th. We'll start preparing for the 2026-2027 season. Arsenal is already getting set for the 2026-2027 season. And the slot has been sacked and has been replaced by Iraola, the Bournemouth manager in the past season. He has replaced and a slot at Liverpool. Xabi Alonso have taken over at Chelsea. Michael Carrick has been permanented at Manchester United. And Manchester City, of course, they have gone for Enzo Maresca. So Arsenal seems to be the only stable team as far as the manager is concerned. Every other team is coming in with a new manager. So the target this season remains retain the league title. Don't be a Liverpool. Retain the league title and go for the Champions League. We'll start the campaign off with Conte Reza against Manchester City, which is a Community Shield for the 2026-2027 season. So Arsenal is preparing for the next season already. But come on, man. Come on, man. Just cut the slack, man. You understand? The World Cup is just 10 days away and you don't want them to do the parade today. Most of the players will join the camp from tomorrow. So when do you want them to do the parade? After winning the English title, 22 years, you don't want them to celebrate because they lost Champions League finals on penalty. Shame on you guys. See you in the next video.